Good morning, you guys. Got a brand new day, brand new video coming your way. We're gonna be testing out a brand new loader. Harry, you got a loader you can show me?
Oh yeah, it's right over here, the ML560.
So this is the reason we came here, you guys. We're gonna be testing out a new loader. I'm actually in the market for a new loader, and I've been coming up here to Top Notch, and Harry and I have been rocking around looking at different options and talking for about a year now. This is going to be my first test run on this loader right here.
Yep. So Manitou MLA 560, cab heat, AC, air ride seat, multi-function joystick. Much bigger loader than your cast, you know. But still articulating, so should still be pretty friendly on the turf for you.
All right, so here we go. We're going to be going through this dry field with this machine, and just to see what she'll do for good, bad, or in between for turf damage.
This is a 60 horse conventional boom, Z-bar link boom, so it's not telescopic.
Okay. How much does it weigh? 8,500 pounds. I looked that up because otherwise I couldn't haul it on my truck here. And I'll tell you right now, you guys, Harry is probably one of the most knowledgeable equipment guys I know. I mean, for a dealer, he knows this stuff inside and out, because obviously he must have worked on a crew at some point, or what's
I had my own landscape and snow removal company for a number of years.
Okay.
Yep.
What engine, what power plant are we running on it?
60 horse Deutz.
So no DEF worries?
Nope.
And it looks like everything is serviceable right from the back side here, right?
Yep.
And you've got all right, so you've got a battery disconnect. I freaking love that. Oh my God, I use that every day. Every piece of equipment I have, that gets used. I don't have to worry about it.
Mounting the motor sideways instead of in line on all their newer models, the Manitous and Gales, because when they used to mount them in line on the older versions, you always had to flip the cab to work on anything because your pump would be under your seat.
Okay.
So they twisted the engine, so now your pump is here, so now you don't have to unbolt the cabs and tip them up. The new model, they made the side panel removable, so again, you don't have to flip up the cab or anything. Your hydro filters there, your hydro fill, your computers, all your valve banks, so a whole lot easier to work on the new Manitou models than the older models.
And this will run any standard skid steer?
Yep, it's a full-size skid attachment plate.
Okay.
So just your standard skid steer attachments will hook right up. Machine has power tack. So I'll just push a button in the cab and
okay.
Power attach. 15.5-inch wide tires, so it's going to be fairly gentle on the turf with this model.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? Look at that. That's going to spread that weight out. So it's 8,500 pounds spread out over, so like compared to a skid loader, she's going to, compared to like this beast right here, this one's probably 10,000 pounds, I'm going to guess.
Around 10,000 on that one.
Yeah, you can just look at that and go, big boy, right?
And that's running 14-inch tires, 14-inch wide versus 15.5.
Yeah, and that one, so the skid steer, for you guys that just are tuning in, by the way, my name is Stan, I'm the Dirt Monkey, this is Harry from Top Notch, but a skid steer skids as it steers, so every time it turns, it's automatically tearing something up. Where a loader like this, the benefit is it articulates, so as you're going around a corner, instead of the front or the back automatically just sliding, she'll just roll and turn. And then you're on wider tires in the first place. But we're going to be testing that out, because that's one of the things I like about my cast loader, is it tears nothing up. I was on a hillside yesterday right after it poured rain, spreading black dirt. And the people that I was spreading for were looking at me like, you're really gonna bring your loader in on this? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna bring my loader in. And they looked and they said, this is amazing, because there was no turf damage. So what else should we know about this thing?
It's also equipped with the 3-speed drive. So you've got your low range working speed, your middle range for, you know, on site, those longer runs, and then you've got your 3rd speed, which is your road gear. Gets you about 19 miles an hour.
Holy crap. I thought the cast was fast, Harry. Will the door stay open?
Nope.
Okay, so your window will stay open, but not your door.
So
Perfect.
you have both windows. That will flip open, so you can get airflow.
You got definite good airflow with this.
This machine is also, you know, equipped with air conditioning.
Oh, okay.
And then again, you got a hand throttle. So this is a standard automotive drive. So you got your accelerator and your inching pedal.
Okay.
But all of the Manitous and Gales have a hand throttle as well, which works similar to like your skid loader, where you can set it where you want it, and even if you're in gear, you're not going to move. And then this becomes a speed control until you hit the point where this is set. Then it becomes throttle again.
Got it.
So it's nice if you're got the Harley rake on there and you need that flow rate and that RPM.
You can throttle it up.
You can throttle it up, engage your continuous flow attachment, and then just control your speed by your foot.
That's pretty nice. That is definitely a nice feature. How much does a unit like this go for?
This one lists for $88,000. The other nice thing with this machine, which you're probably not going to get to play with unless you go play with it, just to play with it. But when it comes to snow removal, this machine also has cruise control. So if you're moving from one site to the other down the street, instead of sitting there having to hold this to the floor, you can hit the cruise control, let off the accelerator, and you have cruise control.
Go. Huh.
Probably not going to use it when plowing because it's shorter runs and you're constantly changing speed and power based on your load.
Yeah, but there's a lot of guys that don't trailer equipment at all.
During transport, yeah, if you're going to drive this from, you know, one site to the next site that's a mile and a half away, 2 miles away.
At 19 miles an hour too, you can go.
18 miles an hour.
See, that's the benefit of a tractor. Those things fly going down the road.
You get to the bigger models like the 650 and 750, they're a little faster yet.
Now, Gale and Manitou is all the same company, just different stickers, right?
Manitou owns Gale, so they're essentially the same machines. One's red and one's yellow. So it's just different stickers. Basically like Chevy and GMC.
Yep. I need a regular bucket. Can we throw one of those on?
Sure.
And we'll go for a test run right around the parking lot in just a minute. Okay, so what?
So all the Manitou and Gale articulating loaders have a hydraulic dump, which allows you, basically it dumps hydraulic pressure from your auxiliaries to take the pressure off your attachment.
Oh, that's beautiful.
If your system happens to be pressurized,
you're not fighting.
a hard time getting
You're not fighting the hoses.
You can hit the hydraulic dump. If you're still fighting, you just take a second guy and have the second guy hold this while the first guy's putting the couplings on. There's no pressure in the system when this is open. It's in a bypass mode.
Unless your attachment is over pressurized.
Yep.
So if you're fighting your hoses, either you're over pressurized on your machine or your attachments. I've actually had to take a wrench and crack my attachments open to release some of that pressure on them.
And that's real common with certain attachments.
Yeah.
And your parking brake is right next to there. So
Mechanical parking brake. Okay, nice. Forward and reverse right here.
Neutral, reverse. Here's your auxiliaries.
And is it also on the stick, or is it all only in the thumb?
Only in the thumb.
Okay. And where's your auxiliaries? Right here?
Okay. Personal auxiliary control. Now you have single rabbit and double rabbit.
Okay.
And there's your cruise control, beacon lights, all your work lights. Air conditioning controls are up here. This one does have a 3-pin electrical down the boom. So if you did have a Harley rake with an electric crossover on it from your left to right, this would be your left and right for your Harley rake.
Okay.
Windshield wipers, front and rear defrost, stereo.
There is not a lot of information on these ML5s out there.
This is probably one of less than a half a dozen in the U.S. This model was released last year, and they built about 6 of them for the U.S., and the demand in Europe was so high that they postponed U.S. production until 2023 in January of this year. So I will be getting probably 10 to 12 of these machines in 2023.
So they're not all...
They're still on order, they're just not slated for production until early 23.
Okay.
You got a transport mode when you're driving down the road with your cruise control on and your pusher or your bucket or your snow equipment that actually locks out the joystick. So if you hit that bump and go like this, you're not going to slam your pusher to the ground. And
you're not doing a nose digger. Yep.
Then when you get back to your site, now your boom is all live again. You also do have Hydroglide, which is boom suspension. Yep. So when you're doing your landscape jobs, you're coming from the front, going through the yard, you got that full bucket of rock or dirt.
Yep.
It actually uses the lift cylinder as a suspension. So when you hit the bumps, the cylinder moves up and down, allowing less stress on the machine, less stress on the operator.
A smoother ride. Yep. No suspension in these. Alright, so I'm gonna put you guys right about here. This is about as close to my eyes as you can possibly get. So you guys should have the exact same view that I have. The grass and see how much grass damage it will do. So parking brakes on, we're in turtle mode. How's the ride on the outside?
Not bad.
This air ride seat takes all of the jarring out of it. It's almost misleading in a way. Now when you're on the go like this, can you switch into rabbit gear, or do you got to come to a stop? So if I just hit the button?
You actually got to hold it.
Buckets. Okay. All right.
You're only in single rabbit. You hit double rabbit, it really goes.
It really goes. All right, I'm gonna hop out and let you drive it on this dry grass, and we're gonna see what that's gonna tear up.
Parking brake?
Yep. So once the parking brake on, it does have a safety feature, a safety stop, where if nobody's in this machine, she'll shut off on her own. if the parking brake is not activated. All right, so here we go. We're gonna be going through this dry field with this machine and just to see what she'll do for good, bad, or in between for turf damage. See, that's a nice little size machine. I'm kind of talking out loud to myself, you guys, in a way. I would.
Yeah, it's taller than me.
Oh, look at that. That's as good as my cast loader any day of the week, almost. Almost. Yeah. That is pretty minimal. You guys want to see how tough this grass is right now? Well, okay. Just reach down. There's no life in that. That grass is gonna rip and tear.
I challenge you to do that with your tractor shoe.
Yeah, no. No, that's not happening. All right, well, let's go throw a bucket on and we'll bring her out. You want to take it or you want me to?
Either way.
You take it. That way I can film it from the outside. Yeah, those big tires make a big difference on that turf, and the fact that it articulates. What a night and day difference. All right, well, the next step, you guys, load this up on my skiddy trailer and haul it down the road to my job site. That's kind of what I like about these mid-size loaders is, you know, I think about it from a snow plowing perspective, I can get a lot more money per hour for that loader than I can for a brand new skid loader. I leased it up in this neck of the woods where I'm at. I don't know what it's like where you're at, but when we got hourly equipment, you got trucks get one rate, whatever plow you have on the front gets a different rate on that truck. A skid loader gets one rate as a subcontractor, and loaders doesn't make a difference. It's just, if it's a wheel loader, it's going to get a different rate.
And then if you do have a dirt bucket or your forks at home off of your skid loader,
Yeah.
it is a full-size skid steer plate, so it's going to pick up any of your attachments off of your skid steer.
I learned early on that each piece of equipment should be loaded a specific way for different reasons. So before I put this on a trailer, I want to find out, should this be loaded with the bucket going toward the front or the bucket going toward the back, and why?
I'll show you. If your operator did something like this and didn't have it shut all the way, you start going down the road, all of a sudden you got a whole bunch of broken glass because the wind gets in there and the doors open up.
Okay, so what Harry's saying is on a loader, it's always better now. So one of the things that we always were conscientious of is the exhaust. So when you're going down the road, instead of having the wind blow in and spin your turbo backwards on you and burn it out, we'd always, at least the older stuff, we'd plug it up with a pop bottle. We'd take a big fat pop bottle, not one that would sink all the way down in.
But the thing is, with all of the ones with DPF now, This is open. Careful, that's hot.
So that's up. So you're not going to get that
Your
direct.
exhaust is actually in the middle of the exhaust pipe. And these pipes are open to allow for water to not go into the exhaust, because the exhausts have to be set up higher now with the DPF engines, because as they regenerate, they're throwing out 900 plus degree Fahrenheit exhaust when you're in regeneration mode.
Is this one going to regeneration mode?
Yes, it will.
How often and what should you do during that time?
Depends how often you let it idle, or how long you let it idle. It could be as little as 5 to 15 minutes. If you've bypassed the DPF control because it comes on and you hit bypass too many times, it could take 45 minutes to an hour to regenerate. Just like the skid loaders, you know, same concept. If you bypass any machine with a DPF system too many times, chances are it will go into complete limp mode, and you'll be able to get on your trailer, and they will have to come into a dealership and get hooked up to the computer and do a forced reset regen, which takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And that's not just Manitou, Gale, Mustang
that's
products,
everybody.
anything with a computer controlled DPF exhaust system. So if you have DPF on your machine, leave it in automatic mode and do not bypass it. The bypass is strictly meant on these machines. If you are a farmer, you're working in a barn, you don't want 900 degree exhaust going against your hay, because it's probably going to start on fire real quick. So that's really the only reason the bypass is on there, is if it goes into regen while you're inside a building. And that's to bypass it so you can get outside the building, turn the system back on, let it regenerate outside in free air.
Okay, smart.
The common mistake that most guys make with DPFs is they see the light come on the dash and they freak out and either shut the machine off, which you don't want to do, or they see the little circle with the X through the exhaust thing and realize, if I push this button, the light goes off. That would be your bypass button, which is the other thing you don't want to do.
Oh my
if
God.
they go into automatic regeneration, which they're designed to do, it's computer controlled, as long as you're outside, continue operating the machine like normal until the light goes off. A lot of times it's just a matter of 10 or 15 minutes and the light will go off. It's not going to affect machine performance.
So 2 things you don't want to do is load to the front and go down the road, unless you want your windows smashed out in case you get a door that freaks out on you. And you don't want to bypass DPF.
Or shut the engine off when it's in DPF.
Okay.
Which is about the same thing, but
That's just as bad. Does this have traction control on it?
yes. This button right here so you can see any gauge. When I hit this button, there's your differential lock comes on.
Right next to the turtle.
Right next to the turtle. Again, there's your hydro glide.
Is that on or off right now?
It's on.
That's off.
It's on, right?
That's on?
Should be on.
Okay.
And that, I don't know if are you going to be using a Harley rake on this at all? Maybe,
No.
maybe not.
No.
If you do, there's your auxiliaries,
Yeah.
and you hold the front trigger button to keep it engaged. Trigger button to disengage. Line it up.
So what Harry told me off camera was the Manitous come with an articulation lock, which is good for longer trips.
Transport. No, it's for the machine to shift on its own and transport.
And there she is right there. All right, we'll get her chained down and hit the road. All right, you guys, well, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. We're gonna take this off and do a job site. Tim, you wanna tell me what we're gonna be doing with it? And then these guys can follow along in another video while we do the job site?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We got 9 apartment buildings here. It was a choice between doing waterproofing or trying just to raise the grade.
Oh, they had water intrusion in it?
Off of your genetic website, your old video, or something, you saw something about, I don't know if it was the one we did at East St. Paul or whatever, buddy.
Yep.
That's where he was interested in trying to just build up the grade and pitch it away.
Okay.
So what we're doing around each one of these buildings is we're gonna raise it up and put rock and metal edging and plastic and pitch it away, and then get the water graded away. So in between the buildings, we're gonna create a nice little swale and get water kicking out, and then yeah, it's just a lot of landscaping on this one. So
pretty good sized project.
yeah, and all these 1, 2, 3, and then the 6 up there.
All right.
Nine buildings of grading and landscaping,
Okay.
rock and edging. And
So if you want to see what we do, and we'll talk, I think in that video, I'll start a new video on that. We'll talk about the different options to control drainage. Because you and I did a video where we talked about, we call it the 3 different options.
Right.
And so, you know, the least intrusive to the most intrusive, all our solutions, some work better than others and the different options. So I think we'll go into something like that in a future one, but we just did a video wrapping up this Manitou, showing that it can do, and it can, you and I we were worried about turf damage on you know, because it's super dry. We took this loader out on grass just like that and spun it in as tight of a circle as it would go.
nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, nice.
Nothing. I was just like,
Nice.
I would have thought something,
Yeah.
nothing.
We just got so much. We're pulling everything off a parking lot too, so it's nice to have something with tires for that situation. Because
And it's got bigger, fatter tires too. It's
Yep.
got the 15-inch tires versus the
tracks just get eaten up. Remember that Maple Grove job? That set of skid steer tracks on the John Deere. How those just got annihilated on that
one job.
one job.
Just tore it up.
Back and forth on a parking lot. Nothing worse. So.
Nothing worse on a set of tracks. All right, well, that's gonna call it for this one, you guys. We'll pull this off, and if you want more on this loader or more anywhere, just let me know. But we're gonna put this to work on a job site, so you can actually, if you hit that subscribe button, you'll be able to actually see us using this on a job site. And Tim is checking the hubs. How are they?
Pretty hot.
Are they hot?
I greased them not that long ago, but I always thought they were oil filled at first.
No, they're not. They're a greasable hub.
That needs to be re-greased.
Yeah.
Hot.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad I'm in the right spot. We got Blaine over there. We got Alex over there. We've got one of our guys is a no show, no call 2 days in a row. 2 of our guys are.
Fun.
Always something fun, but that's what happens when you own a business. The buck stops with you. And I hope you guys, or whatever your business is, I hope it's going good for you guys. And that's all we got for you in this one. God bless you guys. Go get them. We'll catch you on another one.